is a ballet in the Tivoli Garden. Guys are trying to woo that maiden. This is in Tivoli Gardens. They all got bearskin hats on. This is the guy that started Tivoli Gardens. I think he was a Bulgarian that moved to Copenhagen with his family, with his mother and father, and when he got older, he said it was such a boring place that he talked to the king, and the king gave him some property and said, if you want to start an amusement park for people, go ahead. So they did. This country is flat as a pancake. A lot of buildings have water covering the front yard instead of grass. It's just about at sea level. If global warming raises the ocean very much, Copenhagen is going to be underwater. You can take a tour. It's a flat bottom boat. We'll try and take a tour on that boat later on if we can. This is Dorothy with a lady she's from Los Angeles, a lady we met. We met a lot of people from Iowa and Chicago and Minnesota, people from all over.
Now, since there are so many people over there, I think I'll explain a little bit about the past. And those of you who went to Tivoli Gardens last night and saw the boys' band will be able to notice that the Royal Guards, they have the same uniforms, except they probably had the gala uniform on in Tivoli with the white pants and the red coats. Yeah. They only have the gala uniform here on the Queen's birthday, visiting dignitaries, visiting royals, etc. Yeah. Yeah. It's the model church.
Well, it's way back by where we started.
This is, that's Dorothy. Okay. There we are. Okay, hon. This is where the Crown Prince lives. He'll be the next king of Denmark when the Queen dies. This is where the Queen lives, in this this place right here. And over here are her offices. This is a beautiful church, just beautiful church.
I'm not even gonna get you.
Huh?
I'm not even gonna get you.
You are? Because you don't want to.
No, right.
And this is also where the guards are, and they are leaving now, as you can see to the right. You can see they're marching on, and they will walk all the way to the Royal Palace. But it's only a small contingent because there's no music or anything with them today.
Had to get a shot of this, some kind of firewood laying on the street here, right in the heart of Copenhagen. They're probably using it for carving or something, I'm not sure. Sorry about the jiggling, but that's about as steady as I am right now. This piece right here is about 30 inches in diameter. It probably weighs 500 pounds. I'm taking this picture because it's just people sitting outside. There's a restaurant there, and everybody seems to be outside. They're soaking up just as much sun as they can possibly get. If you go down the street, everybody seems to be walking on the sunny side of the street. Although it is today, it's about probably 65 degrees. It's really, really nice. This place is flat as a pancake, no hills. The water is, all the water in all the canals and that is salt water. Here's another outdoor restaurant around the corner. We just went around the corner. We're looking for the tour boat. And here we are, we're trying to find, we want to go on a tour boat. There's canals all over the city. Matter of fact, this is made out of, Copenhagen is a bunch of islands. This is probably the boat we'll probably take. H.M.C. Anderson. The architecture here, there's sculptures all over. This is salt water, although it's not quite as salty as the ocean because there's a lot of fresh water running into it. But Denmark is flat as a pancake, and wherever there's a canal, the ocean comes through and the tide comes up and down and so forth. This is a sculpture that's near the Tor. And here's a sidewalk cafe. This is the opera house that was donated to the city of Copenhagen by the guy that he controls the containers for the container ships for shipping. He's by far the wealthiest man in Denmark, and they say he's got a monopoly on shipping containers that the freighters use to ship goods all over the world. This is the guy that developed that shipping concept. Maersk or something, M-E-A-R-S-K. I mean, we're on a sightseeing ship.
The head has been sought of twice, and the police never succeeded in finding the head nor the perpetrators. Die kleine Meerjungfrau sitzt hier auf Langen seit 1913 und war ein Geschenk der Karlsberg-Brauerei. Sie ist angefertigt im dänischen Bildhauer. Erzählte bestehen fast ausschließlich nur aus Schlamm und Wasser, weshalb sie niemand kaufen wollte. Deswegen musste sie der König gratis weggeben und außerdem den Kaufleuten.
The bus driver on our tour bus told me that if I told you how much money I made, you would think I was the CEO of a company. He says, but our taxes are very high. And he says, so we equal out to probably about what an American makes, because of the high taxes. But he said the minimum wage was $24 US per hour. That's got a staircase all around the outside of it.
Some magicians came as well.
Now we're on the tour bus on the way to Hamlet's Castle in Helsingør, north of Copenhagen.
This is Elsinore Castle. It's got a moat around it. Like all the castles have moats around them. This is a moat around Elsinore Castle. We're in a courtyard in the center of the castle. There used to be a beautiful fountain here in the center, and our guide says that the Swedes come in and they took it. Sweden really devastated Denmark for a few years. We are at Elsinore Castle right now, where Hamlet actually lived.
Now we're going to make a stop at the Baroque Palace of Fredensborg. It's the spring and autumn residence of the Danish royal family.
I think this is the palace right straight ahead of us. Frederiksborg Castle,
You can stop and look if she's waiting.
named from King Frederick. The other castle we were at was Frederiksborg. These kids are learning handicrafts. They found 5 Viking ships, and these were raised in the 60s, 1960s, and brought to the surface, and the wood was preserved with an alcohol substance.
We were down 900 years.
Yeah, they were under the sea for 900 years, and they soaked the wood in ethylene glycol. And when ethylene glycol dries out, ethylene glycol gets like a crystal in it. And it replaces the water in the wood, makes the wood strong. Here's another ship, Viking ship. They found 5 of them, and at least one of them was Norwegian. The Vikings were Norwegian, Finnish, Danish, and Swedish people. And Denmark actually they founded Dublin. Here's a little display of how they this is a display of how they split the logs into planks and hewed the logs to make the ship. What's that, Dorothy?
You gotta go around the other way.
And they made the sails out of wool and some horsehair.
No, Jim?
What?
Did she give a time when we had to be on the bus?
I don't think so. We'll go. We'll leave now, Dorothy. I'll get a little picture of this Viking ship. This is a scale model of one of the ships.
Tell me when it's 5:30, almost 5:30. So I want to be the first to talk to her about that tower.
It's 2 minutes to 5. Riding bicycles, everybody's slim and trim, and
Haven't saw a fat person here.
oh, I've seen a few Americans. Everybody's riding bicycles, 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 more bicycles.